July is here, and the war between my people rages once again. The annual carnage rolling in like a tide, engulfing everything in its path, and leaving behind a wake of destruction. That's right.
Artfight is back. And this year, I'm participating too. If you're someone who's never heard of Artfight before, I can break it down real easy for you. It's basically just Splatoon. Except if you replace the squids with artists, and the ink with drawings. Artfight is an event that happens every year in the summer throughout the entire month of July. Artists who join will be randomly assigned to one of two differently themed teams. Once the event begins, artists will attack their rival team en masse by drawing pictures of characters owned by people on the opposing side. These drawings will earn the submitter's team different numbers of points based on the site's scoring criteria, and at the end of the month, after all of the points have been tallied up, reviewed, and verified, the team with the most points is the one that is declared the winner for the year. Folks on the winning team get a fun little badge for their profile, and the event comes to a close until next year, when the fight will begin again. There's not much to it other than that. It's really just an activity that's meant to be a fun way to discover new artists, create gifts for friends or random folks, and to potentially receive a few drawings of your own characters in return. I kind of skipped out on the previous 3 years, since I'd been a bit too busy and overwhelmed at the time to effectively participate, but this year I've taken a step back and have decided to have some fun and do a few more things for myself. One of which being to join this year's Artfight. I'm definitely not going to be able to make an attack every day like some of the absolute insane wackos out there, but I did want to see if I could whip out at least a few attacks before the month's end. To challenge myself, I also wanted to try and make a few attacks for characters that were a bit more outside of my comfort zone. Which works out well for me since the Artfight website has this nifty little random character button that will help me to find exactly what I never knew existed. So here's my personal challenge. I'm going to search for 3 characters using the random character button, and whatever the first 3 characters are that it generates, I will have to create attacks for. Now, in order to keep myself sane and also to prevent any mishaps, I am going to allow myself a few exceptions. I will be able to reroll a character if it falls under one of these categories. The character is a mech or has lots of complex armor. I can do this, but I don't feel like dying over it, so if something like this pops up, I'm re-rolling. I'm sorry. If the character is inappropriately themed or not safe for work in some kind of way. If the character is just a pet or real-life person, I will not be drawing them. I'm looking mainly for OCs. If the character is a design me a custom type character, or a placeholder link to an entire toy house or other character gallery. If the character's owner is currently a spectator, I will not be drawing them. I want to win points, and I don't believe you get points by attacking spectators. If the character is from the same team, I will not be drawing them. Again, I want to win points, and you get less points for doing friendly fire. And I will get 1 reroll for free. Other than that, there aren't any other rules, so let's get started. Alright, so I'm on the Artfight website, so keeping my rules in mind, let's see if we can roll a few characters from the other team. Here is number 1. Immediately a spectator, so let's reroll again. Same team, so we go again. Again? This might take a second. There we go. Someone on the other team. Alright, so number 1 looks like this little fawn lion looking fella. Very cute. Love the outfit, love the colors. Some kind of D&D OC, I'm assuming? Half-elf, turned into an incubus, brought back as a furball. Yeah, some kind of D&D OC. Alright, we can do that. That works for me, so that's gonna be number 1. Alright, let's go again. Immediately someone on the other team. That works great. Looks like a cyborg, maybe, based on the markings? Kind of like a satyr cyborg. Let me see. Some kind of... what's the word? Like... persona? Avatar? Like an avatar? for a player? I mean, it works for me. I'll save this one too. That'll be our number 2. Alright, and let's see if we can find number 3. Same team. Reroll. Alright, same team again. We'll try to reroll as soon as the button loads. Please, I'm going insane. Load these buttons. Oh, there we go. Not again. I'm suffering. Okay. I'm losing my mind. There we go. Oh! I actually recognize this kind of character. I used to know someone who was really into this, it's like an animation series, I guess, on YouTube. I don't know much about it, but I know what this character is from. It's definitely not something I would usually draw. I could... It feels a bit simple, though. I might... I think I'm going to use my reroll on this one. I think I'm going to do it. Yep. I'm going to do it. Alright, we're going to be re-rolling the book. Goodbye, Morty. Oh, same team. Oh, that's funny. Still purple team, though. Another? Oh my gosh, please. Green! Oh, that's pretty good. Like a little plague doctor, kind of. I can see the mask. I like that one flower eye patch. Or like, is that a flower going out of the eye? Let's see. Little humanoid OC, little plague doctor. Works for me. I will come up with something for this. This is my number 3, final choice. Alrighty, there we go. We've got our 3 choices. Now the hard part. Actually drawing them. Oh, this will take like 5 minutes for you. This is gonna take like 5 days for me. I love drawing. I say through gritted teeth. Alright, I'll see you when I'm done. Show you what I come up with. So for this first character, I knew I wanted to try going with a smaller, more chibi style drawing. I begin by sketching out a few pose ideas, and then when I'm satisfied with one, I resize it and start fleshing it out with a bit more detail. I really enjoy drawing characters like this, that are from more of a fantasy type genre. I'm a big fan of things like Lord of the Rings, D&D, WoW, Zelda, and any other similar types of media. So elves, satyrs, dragons, and just all of those fun little creatures are right up my alley. Once the sketch is done, I line the entire thing on a new layer, and then I go in with color and start to block out what goes where. I also take a bit of extra time with the pants, gloves, and boots to really give them that kind of subtle, rough, leathery texture. From there, I move on to shading, and using a cell shading method, I block out the areas I want shaded in pink with a hard round brush before locking the layer and adjusting the colors a bit to match the rest of the character. I add a few highlights to the hair and around the seams on some of the clothing, and we're pretty much done with this one. That's character number 1. Next, we're on to character number 2. For this one, I really wanted to push an even more condensed chibi style. Something I don't do very often, but would like to work on more and get better at. Compressing a character down into a really simplified, tiny version like this can actually surprisingly be a bit of a challenge, especially when you're working with a design that has a lot of intricate detail that you need to figure out how to condense, but still make look accurate. This character kind of fell on the edge of that line for me, with a fairly simple overall body plan, but several small but crucial markings along the jointed areas of the design. There are definitely some things I see that I could work on, like making the limbs fit more into the chibi style, but overall I'm pretty happy with how this guy turned out. He almost looks like he could be on a little keychain. Definitely a fun one to get the chance to work with. And lastly is character number 3. For this attack, I wanted to do something that was entirely different than the first 2 drawings. I decided I wanted to try a rough, lineless bust painting. Normally, I draw on my computer, and something like this would be a lot easier to accomplish due to my familiarity with the tools and brushes available to me. But for all of these attacks, I've been working using my iPad, which is still a bit difficult because not only do the brushes not behave the same as they do in Photoshop, but a few of the features are a bit more limited or roundabout to try and use. Still, I want to get better at it, and I have produced a couple of things I'm proud of while using it in the past, so I'm being a bit stubborn here and forcing myself to stick with it. I created a quick doodle which will serve as a rough for my pose, and then I take that, resize it, and begin to paint over it with a hard chalk brush. I really want to see what I'm able to do in a quick time frame, so I immediately begin to go in and block out things like the nose, eyes, and ears, and I make small adjustments to them as I work so that they fit the expression that I had in mind while drawing. I add a bit more of a lively reddish tone to the skin, clean up the nose a bit, and unbald this character by finally giving him back his beautiful luscious hair. I've been shading very lightly while painting, and one of the final things I do is go in and add a bit more shaded detail to the hair, parts of the skin where the shadows would fall, and highlights around the eyes and mouth. I add some more detail to the eye and the string for the eye patch, and he's just about done. My final attack. I don't know why, but the colors on this character's outfit remind me a bit of Hiccup from How to Train Your Dragon. Nonetheless, a really cute character, and I'm glad I got the chance to work with him. Artfight is nearly over now, and in total I've managed to crank out about 9 attacks, which is really good for me. Almost a new record. I'm going to be leaving on a trip soon, so I'll likely miss the ending, but if I can, I'd like to try and create at least one more attack for my number 1 arch nemesis. Artfight ends this year on August 3rd, meaning there's only a week left if you want to participate. But if the idea of attacking people with art sounds any fun to you at all, I would really recommend joining if you can. It's a great way to practice your speed and meet new people, and all in all, it's just some good, wholesome fun. That's all from me for today. I hope to see you guys again soon. Be well, have fun, and remember to drink plenty of water. Because you know what they say, there's no sensation like hydration.